Folks, this is why I am passionate about working with leaders like yourself and business owners. I'm Gary Ryan from Organisations That Matter. Leadership has a massive impact on people's lives when they leave the workplace. And this is one of the reasons why I'm so passionate about educating leaders about how to lead effectively and in a manner that actually treats the people in the organization that they're leading as human beings. Because most people care about the job they are doing, that they give a crap about it. And if you give a crap about the job that you're doing, then you're going to take home a certain amount of stress about that just because you care. And that's normal for most people. You take home a certain amount of stress that's related to you caring about doing a great job that you're employed to do. However, when you have leadership behaviors that add stress unnecessarily to employees, that's a big problem because that means that people go home to their families with that additional stress. And that means the leadership of an organization negatively impacts the home place. And that's not right. Leaders do not, in fact, have the right to negatively impact people in their own homes with their own families. Sometimes this causes families to break down. That's bad for community, that's bad for society, and certainly bad for the people involved in those families. There is a connection between what goes on in the workplace and the impact it has at home. And I'm passionate about helping leaders and business owners ensure that the impact they have is a positive impact in the home environment. Let me just share a very recent example with you. Now, I'm going to call this person Samantha. Samantha had been doing an acting role for a year and a half. And she was on holidays just recently throughout the Christmas summertime period here in Australia. She received an email from her leader, her boss, her manager, telling her that when she was to return to work in a couple of weeks' time, she was no longer going to be doing that acting role because they had hired someone else to do the role. The person who'd been hired to do the role, their resume had been attached to this email for reference. And the email said, "Hi, Samantha. Hopefully you're enjoying your holidays." Well, what do you think this email did to Samantha on her holidays? What do you think happened, folks? Samantha was shocked. She wasn't even given an opportunity to go for this job. In fact, she didn't even know they were looking for anyone. Upon returning to work from the holidays, the manager, leader, boss, whatever you want to call this person, pathetic might be an appropriate description, has not engaged with Samantha in a conversation. Samantha is in fact keen to understand what is it that she wasn't doing that she needed to be doing so that she wouldn't get replaced like she was replaced. You see, folks, this sort of leadership happens far too often. Now, that person in that leadership role is not leading effectively. That has completely disengaged Samantha. Now, folks, for a year and a half, Samantha was doing that acting role, helping out the organization, doing the best she could with very little or in fact no mentorship from her boss, leader, manager. This is an example of the negative impact. Now, Samantha has a husband and 2 young children at home. Do you think this experience, A, didn't negatively affect her holidays, and B, because there is a financial impact too, she's now getting paid back on her substantive role, not the acting role? Again, no conversation took place. These examples are happening far too often, folks, and they have to stop. Now, you might be watching this and you might be saying to yourself, you know what, maybe I'm one of those leader, manager, boss type people that's doing this sort of stuff. Honestly, it doesn't have to be like that. You need to get educated. You need to raise your competence level about how to lead effectively. And that's exactly what I've been doing since the year 2007. For 18 years, I've been helping leaders raise the way that they lead so that they're treating people so that they can deliver high performance with absolute clarity. You need to be clear about where your leadership role is engaged with taking the organization forward to its vision and delivering on its mission and values. You need to make sure that you're clear about your role, and you need to make sure that the people you're leading are clear about their roles, including the decisions that they can and cannot make. These are just some of the things that I help leaders to understand. And most importantly, I help leaders to ensure that you have a growth mindset. Once again, I'm Gary Ryan from Organizations That Matter. Reach out, connect with me, and let me help you become a better leader.